Hola, ¿cómo están? Yo soy Alejandro Franco y les doy la bienvenida de nueva cuenta a Sesiones. Mis invitados del día de hoy es una banda originaria de Melbourne, Australia. Después hice una carrera pues muy rápida, pero muy prolífica en el Reino Unido. Ellos empezaron en el 2005. Tienen un disco impresionante y un par de sencillos que han recorrido el mundo entero, en especial uno que me imagino ustedes van a reconocer en algún momento de la sesión. Y bueno, pues les doy la bienvenida y los dejo así, de bote pronto y lleno, con The Temper Trap. Continuamos aquí en Sesiones y está de Temper Trap, como ustedes ya lo habrán podido notar. How are you guys? Thanks a lot for being here.
Excellent. Thank you for having us.
Well, your first visit to Latin America? Yes, for sure.
Yeah, it's our first visit as a band, and yeah, it's been great so far.
Have you been before? I mean, on holidays or something?
Johnny had his honeymoon here once, and I came maybe like 10 years ago, did some backpacking and stuff.
So how old are you?
25.
25?
29.
29 then? 30. You and I are of the same level. We're vintage, man. What about you?
I'm 29.
29. So it's the first visit as a band, and I think it must be very exciting to close a couple of gigs with Pixies and to be in a festival in Mexico City. How do you feel about it?
Look,
Careful with my balls, man. Please.
they're so shiny. I just want to touch them. No, it's obviously an amazing opportunity to come here, you know, and we always get really excited whenever we come to a new country that we've never been to. And I think it's safe to say that we probably played in front of the biggest audience we've ever played in front of the other day at the Corona Festival. And to be playing with the Pixies as well is a big honor. So everything's going great so far.
We know a lot of bands here in Mexico from Australia. I mean, not a lot, but we have, we are fans of a few. But how is the music scene right now in Australia?
In Australia, there's a lot of bands. There's a lot of pubs as well there. Like when we started playing, I guess there was definitely, there's opportunities for young musicians, and it's very diverse, the city that we're from. It's very multicultural, and so there's sort of a lot of different music going on, and it's healthy and competitive scene as well. I think Australians are sort of competitive in nature, and so they go, pretty hard and really focus in on what they're doing. So.
But you actually can say that there's a healthy industry for music business in Australia? Because you went to UK, I don't know if London, and then you tried to do the things right in London, and things went
Australia's
right.
very isolated, but us.
Do you think that Australia scene is a healthy scene?
The music scene? Yes. Yeah, sure. It's very conducive, I guess, for people that are creative, and especially Melbourne, you know. Like Johnny said, there's a lot of places that put on nights, like band nights and stuff, and kids are very aware of, music that's going on around the world. And sometimes I think maybe Australia's a little bit slow to kind of maybe support their own, and then it's not like in our case, we moved to the UK and we got some pretty good press in the UK, and people started, there was some news, there's some buzz there that the people in Australia caught on to. And then when we came back after not being back home for almost a year or something, we played this festival, and it was just like a sea of people. But all that just kind of came from off the back of us, having relative, I guess, success in the UK.
What's the real story when you came to the UK? Because they are always waiting like the next big thing. And suddenly a band coming from Australia went to one of the next big things. So how was the right moment when you came to the UK and you start working on your work?
I think we really decided to move there, and that was a place we wanted to try and get things going. And we started off really small, and we'll just start playing gigs, and then hopefully the word will spread. And, the first few shows we played like 50 people, 100 people, 200 people, and then it just slowly kind of grew from that, and people would start to get good live reviews, and then the album came out, and that started to get some good reviews, and things just grew they grew quite quickly compared to when we were in Australia, but kind of organically. There wasn't too much overhype or any of that stuff, just the show, and people were hearing about that, and that's the way, all of a sudden we were selling out like 2,000 person venues kind of 6 months later. So the UK is a great place for new bands because they're so excited about new music, and they've got Radio 1, which like covers the whole of the UK. So if you get a song on Radio 1, suddenly everyone in the whole of England and Scotland and Wales knows about you.
Even outside England, no? It's like when you sound there, you sound in a lot of places also.
Definitely.
And then you work with this amazing producer for the album. And how was the thing? Was part of the same UK boss that you get when you get there?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it was great working with Jim. You know, he brought a lot of things to the table that, you know, we had no experience in. You know, he was really very good at pulling sounds for the instruments, you know, and also good at understanding, you know, what a good live take was and getting a good vibe down on the recording. And that's mainly, I think, where we kind of concentrate. He concentrated a lot on trying to get a really good feeling take of each song to give it an extra bit of vibe and something there. And it definitely helped us in terms of like getting recognition in more so in kind of I guess music press and also the music industry, because when you work with a person of a caliber like Jim, who's worked with, you know, Kasabian, Arctic Monkeys, and, you know, a huge list of
And
famous
with great
people.
albums also from those bands. Yeah.
Exactly. So
maybe
I
the
mean,
most important albums of those bands, no?
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, I think that really helps us a lot in order for people to become aware of us, because they're like, oh, well, this producer, he's worked with this band, so there must be something about them, you know, and that really kind of helped us move forward, especially in England.
Well, let me go to a commercial break and be right back. The Temper Trap está aquí en Sesiones. De regreso aquí en Sesiones con The Temper Trap. ¿Hablas español?
What?
When I met you, you say hi in a very special way in Spanish.
¿Qué onda, cabrón?
Yeah, that's nice. And I would say the same to you. ¿Qué onda, cabrón? ¿Cómo estás? También hablas muy bien español. You speak Spanish very well.
Oh, gracias.
Well, we have to talk about Sweet Disposition single, because I think it's one of these phenomenon singles all around the world, and it went to TV commercials, to movies, and everywhere all around the world. Were you expecting this with the single as soon as you realized that you have a good and a great song?
No, I mean, when Lorenzo kind of came in with that riff, there was certainly an energy when we first started playing, and it kind of came together quickly, but I don't think we even realized the world of kind of movies and advertising that existed, let alone, you know, getting it on the radio. I think we would have all been pretty excited just to get it on the radio in Australia, but over the past couple of years, so many more opportunities have kind of opened up that, yeah, it's a real surprise, all the things it's ended up being a part of.
Synchronize your music in a movie or in publicity, it's a good deal, no, for a band.
We think so. You know, obviously, there's been a lot of stuff offered to us that, you know, I guess collectively as a band we've discussed about and decided not to do. So we're selective. We don't say yes to everything. But yeah, some people have different opinions on it. You know, yeah. I think for a young band all the way from Australia, we can't afford to be too idealistic in this stage of our career. It's all about getting the word out there and putting ourselves out there so that as many people as possible can get a chance to hear us. You know, once you're more established or whatever, if you want to be a little bit more like, no, I don't believe in that product, so I'm not gonna, you know, attach myself to that, then that's fine. But yeah, for a young band, I think we just have to play it smart, you know. And
do you have some pressure for the next album?
I guess there is a little bit. It's becoming more apparent, just as more people are asking, you know, when are you going to release a new album? Have you been working on new material and things like that? I wouldn't necessarily call it pressure. It's just kind of like people's anticipation and expectation for us to kind of go out and, you know, and have something ready. But, you know, I think we're all very looking forward to getting back in and being creative and you know, and focusing on the next chapter of our career, you know, because we've been involved in this part and this record for, you know, the last kind of 2.5 years. And it's nice to kind of think that, okay, well, this chapter's over, we can go to the next chapter of our career.
Everyone work on the composition process?
Yeah, it's quite a collaborative.
It's a democracy?
It's sometimes, yeah.
Well, like democracy, it's only sometimes.
Yeah. Democracy, does it really exist? Yeah, no, I mean, I think we made it a rule, you know, a long time ago when we first started this. That I remember we wrote it down. We had these rules. We wrote it down on a sheet of paper in a van on our way to.
You still have that paper?
I have it, yeah.
Temperature philosophy.
Temperature philosophy, the guide.
Yeah.
The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, man.
The rule book to success. And one of the rules was that we would give every idea a chance. You know, no matter how silly or weird or whatever, you just give it a chance.
Even you don't like the riff, then becomes Sweet Disposition. No.
Yeah. I hated it first. No. So yeah, you know, it's a pretty collaborative working environment.
Which other rules do you have in that paper? I'm curious. Sorry. Maybe one or two, don't worry. Don't say the hard ones.
Don't say the hard ones? I'm trying to remember some of the rules. I think.
There's no getting like drunk before a show.
Yeah.
No getting like wasted before a show.
Really? Is that a rule?
I don't know about these guys, but I know that I've never gone on stage intoxicated before.
I mean, that's very good for the audience, and as a band, it's like self-respect, no?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but as well, like I have a hard time as it is like remembering the lyrics when I'm sober. Let alone when I'm yeah.
So drunk, you don't remember at all.
Sometimes I have to make it up on the spot and do a little freestyle rap. You know what I mean? Nobody knows but me. But so like yeah, if I'm intoxicated, then it's just.
So you're not drunk right now.
No.
None of you. But after the show, obviously you have some party, drinks, women, champagne. Nah.
Yeah. He loves champagne.
But at the end of the show,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
that's a rule.
Oh, you know, I
different,
mean,
yeah.
we might. It's not like we won't have a drink at all. You know, you might have a beer or something, but it's not like you're gonna, you know, smash a 6-pack of beer before you go on stage. You know, and I mean, I think we try to be fairly energetic as well when we're on stage, and I think it's kind of hard to be really energetic when you're drunk. You know what I mean? Because you probably fall over and knock your amp over, and yeah, exactly. The tacos might come out. So,
Well, people actually think that maybe being on a world tour is easy, but I think it's a very difficult task to do. I mean, to be playing one night and then be awake at the other, be in a TV show, for example, and then to play again. Is it difficult for you? Are you getting used to, or you are like only living the way it comes?
I think, you know, at different moments, you know, it could be difficult, but definitely like it's momentary. You know, how do you say that word? Momentary. You know, there's some moments you could be tired or whatever, but you know, when you really pinch yourself, we're in Mexico. We're experiencing another culture. We're playing music, and it's what we want to do. And you know, so it's sort of, I guess sometimes the demands, you know, of it can get a bit much. But the blessing of what we're doing certainly outweighs the demand. Yeah.
Are you getting big in Australia?
Massive.
Yeah. Nah, come on.
No, I don't know. I mean, you know, we last time we went back home, which was probably about four months ago, something like that.
20,000 people at the airport. No.
Yeah. Yeah, because Beyonce landed at the same time, so it's like.
In the airport, I say.
Yeah.
Not waiting for you. I mean, the people traveling.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but
We played like 5,000, 6,000 capacity venues.
is that important for you to be important bigs in your own country?
It's really nice to go back and have that level of support, and like our Melbourne show, our hometown show, was just the excitement in the room was so visceral. You could really feel it, and it was great to be up on the stage. You know, we all walked off that stage just like grinning from ear to ear.
And the vibe to see your ex-partners of the school there, like, yeah, motherfucker. Nah. Well, guys, thanks a lot for being here on the show. Can you play more for us, please? Yeah. Okay, bueno, de Temper Trap, continuamos en sesiones.
This song's Downriver.
Some dreadful, bad
Bueno, estamos llegando al final del programa del día de hoy. Les agradezco mucho que nos hayan acompañado aquí, que nos hayan acompañado en donde quiera que llegue la señal de este programa llamado Sesiones. Mi nombre es Alejandro Franco y los voy a dejar de nueva cuenta con esta banda australiana que nos ha demostrado su calidad musical y el por qué son un grupo que está recorriendo el mundo entero con su música. El primer disco, el que los dio a conocer en todo el planeta, se llama Conditions, para que lo tengan en mente y lo compren o lo adquieran si es que pues todavía no lo tienen. Así es que bueno, nos vamos. Gracias por haber estado con nosotros. Los dejo de nueva cuenta con The Temper Trap.